Schein, at an event last night with 50 Cent, Carmelo Anthony said his meeting with Phil Jackson and Derek Fisher went great, and he loves what Phil is doing. That means absolutely nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Why? Because while Carmelo is saying the right things there, he's growing more and more annoyed by the day with everything that's going on with the Knicks. And I said this last week, and I said it again the other day. I just really get the sense that Phil might not believe Carmelo Anthony is the player to build around. Would it be a blow to the Knicks if they were to lose him? Of course it would. You know, in looking at what Phil's doing here, you really have to wonder when he says things like Carmelo can be successful in the triangle, and then you have Derek Fisher saying we might not necessarily run the triangle, it depends on our personnel. It's a bit of a head-scratcher right now what's going on, and I'm really starting to believe more and more that Phil doesn't want him.
Well, first and foremost, I disagree with you on the comments. I think they mean something. If Glenn Grunwald and Mike Woodson are still here, Melo's taking the first flight out to Chicago, okay? Phil Jackson and Derek Fisher.
He probably is anyway.
He might. But Phil Jackson and Derek Fisher, their rings, their pedigree, gives the Knicks a fighting chance. So it's a positive. It's something. It's meaningful that the meeting went great. I'm sure there have been plenty of meetings that Carmelo's had with his bosses at MSG that haven't gone great, Carlin. I mean, let's be clear here when you think about who Carmelo's had to deal with. But to your point, how come Phil Jackson can't woo Carmelo Anthony? Why does he publicly have to say, well, I expect him to take a pay cut? You might be onto something that maybe he doesn't want him. If that's the case, then Phil doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Well, I can't say that. I can't say he doesn't know what he's doing. That's the problem here. You gave Phil Jackson, who, as a coach, yes, has 11 rings, as a player, 2 more, $60 million. I have to trust him to go out and do it.
You need Carmelo Anthony.
Well,
you need Carmelo Anthony.
But if Phil doesn't think that Carmelo Anthony's the guy,
you have to prove to Carmelo Anthony is a plan in place to win, and he should think Carmelo's the guy.
Well, but wait a minute.
So Tom Thibodeau, the second smartest coach in the NBA, thinks he's the guy, and Phil Jackson doesn't.
It's not saying that Carmelo's not the guy. It's saying that Phil might not think he's the right guy for this particular situation, and if that's the case,
Phil's wrong.
He might.
Phil's wrong.
I have to trust Phil to be right.
Why do I have to trust Phil?
Because I just gave him, I just gave him $60 million, and next year I'm going to have a ton of money to go spend on the open market.
I disagree completely.
All of this said, I still will continue to contend that Carmelo should be opting into this contract.
And you've been ahead of the curve.
It's the only way to go.
That I agree with.